we took a few moves. We did get caught in a nasty short last night. I thought we could possibly run those whole numbers down to the bottom. We ended up getting out of the trade. We just pretty much DCA'd back out of the trade. So we're able to get back positive. We don't have any news today, but tomorrow is CPI numbers. So it's very, very possible, guys. It could just be straight choppy, kind of seek and destroy today. So you know how it is anytime before those like major news events. So sometimes the price action is just straight garbage. And what we'll have to do is just kind of adjust to it. A lot of times if it's super choppy or seek and destroy, we'll just mainly use the 10-point mentality where we just look for 10 points. Because most of the time your runners will just get stopped out. So you just get those days where you just don't get good follow through. You can still get your like 10, 20, 30 points. But most of the time it's whipping back pretty fast. That most of the time you're just getting stopped out over and over. And the only reason why I feel that way today, like I said, tomorrow is CPI numbers. So, and it just seems like anytime before like CPI or non-farm payroll or interest rate decision with the feds, we'll get that really just crappy price action. So I've also made it easy for us to see the 15-minute candle for kind of outline it a little bit better. So that'll be this purple little square here with, I don't know how well you can see that green little thing on your screen, but it says 15-minute candle. And that way you get an idea what I'm looking for and where I'm looking for a pullback in, because most of my entries are taken off around this candle at the opening. And that's about the only time we use it, probably within the first 5 or 10 minutes. After that, we don't use it anymore. I'm going to be very weary of the longs this morning. So I would too. I would, especially if we start pushing up right here at open. Remember, we're running into that previous day high. This is where you see this big kind of red bar, red kind of dashy line with the previous day high. Most of the time, we always run into resistance. So we open it up a little bit higher than yesterday. So this was the opening yesterday. Here's that 15-minute candle. We opened up pretty much right on top of the previous day high and just sold off the rest of the day. So that's why you just got to be weary of the opening day high. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing us push up to the previous day high, then sell back down to the previous day low. Just kind of like over here. Push up to the previous day high, push down to the previous day low, where we're just trading inside the window of the previous day. Another option for a good setup today, if it happens, let's just say we do push above the previous day high. Most of the time we will come back through it. And once it sells back through it, a lot of times it kind of opens up for like a nice 60, 70 point trade. So, but you want to see us push up, say like maybe up to the 500s or something like that, then come back down through it. So far, the last 2 days, the opening has been very whippy. So I don't know today. I just feel like maybe today will be the day that we get that big opening trade. I know the last 2 days hadn't been that great. Like yesterday, we got stuck in a short. I kind of FOMO'd because I thought it was going to run that data wick at the bottom. So I was like, crap, let me jump in. And as soon as I jumped in, that thing reversed and that thing went all the way back up to the 15-minute candle. So this would be the setup that we're looking for. If I don't take it on this funded account that we take a trade on, we'll take it on the next one. So here's the opening candles. These are the two first 5-minute candles. And this is from yesterday's price action. And it's not the same every day. You can see right here is where we pushed up into that previous day high. So basically what it is, you're looking to either make a higher high or a higher low, which we did not break this low here. So we pretty much pushed back up into the 15-minute candle. And that's what you're looking for. If you want the better of the setup, then use either the top of the 15 minutes and depending on how far it pulls back, because sometimes it pulls back to the 50%, but then sometimes it just pulls back right to the edge. So it's only those two that ever does. And you want to make sure the 50% holds, is because if the 50% doesn't hold, we're going back out the top side, and you can take longs going out the other side of it. We do that too. So I always make sure the 50% of that 15-minute candle holds, and my entry is always at the bottom of the 15-minute candle. So if it pushes up in it, we'll have an entry more likely kind of ready to kind of go in right here. And it almost offered too, because here was the first pullback right here. We actually pulled back twice. So this would have pulled back, then sold down what? Almost 80 points. And then we pushed back up into it farther. Then this one was just a freak sell off the rest of the day, like 400 or 500 points. But you don't know that kind of stuff's going to happen. So this is how we most of the time look for our entries in the opening market. And this is the 15-minute candle from 9 o'clock to 9:15. And if you're new here, these boxes are the 4-hour candles. So this is the 4-hour candle from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. This is the 4-hour candle from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then these each individual little squares represent hour candles. And this way we can kind of get an idea. Like, let's just say we run the low of this 4-hour candle and it's just like a little wick. More likely you're going back to the upside. Then you get a good idea to go back up. I don't really have no exact mount. D printer. I gotta say, probably overall we're still in the red, because I just started 2 years ago, and these first couple years are usually your what do you want to call it? Your tuition type area where you're probably spending a lot more money than you're making. So that's why I don't ever recommend expensive prop firms or using your own cash when you first start. So I always kind of recommend. I'm hoping next month will be probably one of my bigger months. Either by the end of this month or next month. We're only about $500 away from $1,000 payout with this account. $1,500 with this one. This one $1,000. So I'm hoping this one that we can get to pay out within the next week or so. That's the only account right at this moment that's close to payout with the prop firms. If you're looking at prop firm trading, I'm not sure if you're using cash or not though. I don't use cash because I know most people that try to use cash when they first start out, they end up losing all their money. I mean, you can go back and probably listen to any streamer who said, yeah, I put $4,000 in a trading account and they lose it. So I've tried putting cash in an account, then I would lose like $100, $200. Like, okay, we're not going to do that no more. So no, I just have multiple streams of income. So I only usually do this a few hours in the morning. Most of the time I work in the middle of the day. So I'll do this in the morning time. Then I'll go to work at 12. Then I'll come back later at night and stream 2 in the evening. So it seems like I'm on here a lot, but my days are fairly long between streaming all morning to working in the middle of the day, then streaming all night. Sometimes I feel like I barely sleep sometimes. But I don't have to work as much as, I don't work a whole bunch because what it is, my home is paid for, or I have a paid off home. So I own multiple homes. So I bought this house that I live in now in my 20s, and I almost had it paid off. Then when interest rates were down to like that 2 and 3% back in like 22, we borrowed money out of our house and paid cash for a second house. And so we used the second house to, so basically I get to live mortgage free besides paying taxes and insurance. And I don't have no car payment, so I just have the basic bills at this point in my life. The only thing financially that's changed over the last few months is probably my vet increased bills. My dog ended up being a diabetic, so paying for insulin and vet visits, that's been kind of pricey lately. But other than that, it's been good. Did you say you're done for the day? I hit that 7:30 long break. Yeah, we had some news this morning. You might be blessed that you hit that so early, Jake, because tomorrow is CPI numbers. So I don't know if it's going to be super choppy this morning. Where did you take that? Where'd you make that $600 at, Jake? Was that with the NASDAQ? I hear $600, but I also hear I went in with like what 2 minis, 3 minis. How deep did you go in, Jake? 2 mini contracts. Yeah, I was like, I hear the $600 on one trade, but in the back of my mind, I was like, man, Jake then went in with 2 minis or over leverage, got a quick $600. We're trading the MNQ. We're trading micros because we're trading 25Ks and 50Ks. So most days we're trying to find trades on 5 or 6 funded accounts and 2 evals. And we're trading Bulinox, Apex, and Luciv. And I just started Luciv the other day. This is what we were trading last night. This is an eval 2. I was in a horrible short last night, guys. All right, I got to kind of focus on my charts real quick. We got about 3 minutes left. Remember what I said about longs? If you're going to look for longs this morning, if we do break out above the 400, be wary of the previous day high up here. What's up, Log? How are you doing today? What's up, Fish Lips? Is this going to be a fish lip strategy day where we're just chopping? We're in the 5-minute time frames where we're just chopping in between hold numbers. And also, guys, I do trade my evals most of the time on Rico candles. So if it looks weird when you see it on here, it's because most of the time I'm on a... I almost forgot to set up my ATM here. A lot of times on my evals, I'm buying pullback on Rico candles. So sometimes it will look weird on my charts. And I only do that because this chart's mirroring this 5 minutes. That way you can still see me enter. But sometimes I take trades on Rico candles. And that's just on evals most of the time. Dude, I don't know. I'm kind of liking this pullback here. I don't know if we rerun this 4 hour down at the 420s. So it could make a quick push to run the low of this 4 hour candle and come straight back up and go through the top. So shoot. Got 30 seconds left. I'm going to set my buy order up here just in case it goes to that top up there. Remember, we only got 50 or 60 points to the top side to work with. The only way we do a short, if it pushes down, pushes back, and the 50% holds. All right. There's almost your 4 hour. That was the previous hourly candle. Nice. That was a nice 20-point push down here. We did get the retest of the 15-minute candle. We're just kind of waiting. I don't feel like getting stuck in a trade today like I did the last couple days. So far, it opened up very mildly, guys. Not a big push at all. All we did was run this previous hourly candle. So let's see if we can run the hourly high back up here at the 420s. So far, very choppy, guys. Very choppy. Hopefully, no one's trapped in a trade right now. This was another thing we were kind of worried about because it's CPIs tomorrow, so I didn't know how choppy it was going to be today. I knew I wasn't going to take that first breakout, so we're just kind of waiting. We got about 2.5 minutes before the next 5-minute candle. I wouldn't mind seeing this candle to push back up if we're still going to look for longs, and the second candle kind of breaks out. So we'll just wait for the next 5-minute candle here. What's up, Bay? How are you doing? Oh, yeah, this is horrible. It's just kind of swinging back and forth. We still got a minute 20 seconds left for this next 5-minute candle. So you got to think this candle here didn't make a high or make a new low. It did make a new low, so you would almost want to see this next candle push up here and make a new high, then have another pullback if you're looking for the 15-minute setup. 1 minute left. I just got to make sure I'm on the right thing. 30 seconds left. So far, just a big basic. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for too, to kind of run those previous day highs up there, Bay. But a very mild open. Yeah, I was kind of considering that being CPI numbers tomorrow. I don't know how safe it is to trade funded accounts today. Well, I didn't make no $1,300, but I was I was just thinking more or less the CPI numbers tomorrow. I'm definitely glad I didn't take this opening, because right now, man, guys, the price action is just straight garbage. Yeah, Jake, most of the times before that, your CPI numbers, Papa Powell speaks, or non farm payroll, a lot of times this is the type price action we get for these days. A lot of times I won't trade my funded accounts on these days because of the choppy price action. Or either we'll take one trade and be done. So right here is going to be a one trade and done with the funded. At least with this account. How you doing today, Jenny? Right now we're just using 3. I'm trying not to over leverage too much, Bay, because we only need $500 more to get to pay out with this account. I try to make most of the money I make on my runners. So I like to hit either a quick 10 to 20 point trade. Then I'm going to be looking for 40 to 50 points, a push up to the previous day high here if we get tagged in long. We got a minute something left on this candle. So here's the 50%. So if we lose that 50%, I would think that we would push through. I just got to be careful and make sure we don't hit the 400 here, then wick back. So that's what I got to be careful of here. See how we just kind of hit those 90 levels? This is why I'd never take any trades into the 90 level here, guys. Still got a minute left on this candle. Is there anybody here stuck in a trade? Moving averages on here, but I don't really pay much attention to them. They're the 9, the 21, and 50. So far, guys, no trade. We were kind of looking for a long after we pushed down to run this previous hourly candle. We were thinking maybe we retest the previous day high up there at the 460s, 450s. And Jenny, we're on the 5-minute time frame. Man, it even scares me to grab this long, how much we're bouncing. We just don't have that good follow through. Remember, we kind of discussed about not having good follow through. I just feel like that's just the type price action we're getting, and that means the runners are just going to be garbage. Got 3 minutes left on this candle. No, Jenny, this is the NQ or MNQ. It's got to break above this wick here. If we pull back down and lose this wick at the 330s, we're probably maybe going back to the downside to run the previous day close. Boy, this baby's just trapping people on both sides. Oh my goodness. This is what I got trapped in yesterday, guys. I got trapped in this freaking thing yesterday. We had the same price action type yesterday starting out, and I got trapped. I ended up buying a breakout candle on a 5 minutes, and that freaking thing went straight back up on me. So I'm pretty sure whatever way we break on these wicks, that's which way we're probably going to end up pushing. Where is that, at the 35s? Where's last week's high and low? I don't know if I have that marked out trading with Jack. The only highs and lows I got marked out is the previous day. Yeah, only things on my charts, the previous day low, the previous day open, the close, and the high. I guess down it's going to be. We got 50 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. All right. Make sure I don't have no entry yet here. Might be able to get a good bounce off the previous day close sitting at 75 here. I may try that trade on a eval, not a funded though. Let's see. Look for a possible bounce here at the 77s. You should get a quick bounce here at the previous day close for like 10 to 20 points. And let's see if it holds up here. No. Holy crap, man. All right, now we're at the previous day open. Nice bounce back up. Yeah, you would have to risk, what, about 10 points on that trade, 10 to 15 points. Okay, that was the 50% of the candle. Our leg. Trying to see where we could go. What? 243? I would think we get that 243. That would be your Asia low. Or Tokyo low. Kind of want to try short to the 50s. We're going to hope we can get to the 50s, and because I'm not sure if we're going to bounce here at the previous day. Open here. We did. I was hoping I could get down to the 43s before we bounced. Nope. Man, we hit right off that previous day open. Insane. The low that we're talking about, that 40 area, that was from your Tokyo low from last night. Bounce from the 25 190. What is that? 29 level. Let's see. Yeah, I can see the 206s. That's that previous swing. All right, we'll look for another short here if we can kind of hold underneath the 75 areas. And we got 6 minutes. We're about to have a new 5-minute candle here also. Ah, damn it. I jumped in late. Ooh. I tried to get in right there at the 70s. The time I hit it, it was already down 30 points. So here I'm looking for the 50 to hold at the previous day open and get a push down to the 25. If not, we're looking for a push back up to the 400s and we can DCA back into this. Then the 300 will be my line in the sand. Ah, shit. Might get stopped out. Because it already won over 50% of that previous 5-minute candle. Let's see. Right at it. All right. One more buy-in around the 75. We need that 25 push here. I feel like I was in the same position as yesterday here. We should get the push to the 25. Another bounce off the 50. Dude, we're going to probably hold it the previous day close, guys. All right, we'll add back in at 300 here. And 325 will be my last line in the sand as far as the ad goes. One more push here. Let's see if it can get through the 50s this time. No. Fish Lips, are you short or long from the 50 here? Yeah, we'll hold it for a little bit. We will add in again at the 300s and 325s if we get the push back up to retest these hourly candles if we have to. I feel like I've been catching myself more and more in these positions the last couple days. And I hardly ever am in trades where I'm sitting here holding through a bunch of drawdown. It's been one of those last couple days, this week. Dude, we just got to get through this previous day open here. All right. Let's see. 197. We're going to take this down a little bit because we could bounce here at the 25 and go all the way back up. I'm hoping this creates like a little order block area. Dude, this thing's just kind of dumping, isn't it? This is usually a nice area for a bounce here off that 10 level. Actually, we're not going to let it go back up. We're just going to take our profit here at the 30. Because it could easily go all the way back up to the 50 here. We could also run the lunchtime low or even yesterday's low all the way down at 25,050. Just entered the long right now. Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with longing off the whole number. I'm always a fan. Goodness, man. All right, that 50 area is going to be my last area here. We could bounce back up. Anytime you're in the 90s to 110, we could easily go back up to the 25s here. Sorry about my charts, guys. This thing is so spread apart that it's kind of hard to see. Just created another swing here at the 90 level at the previous day low. So definitely a good area for a bounce. Oh, wait, that was the previous day. The previous day low is actually all the way down here. All right. I know Fish Lips is probably long at the 200. That would be your 200 or 75. What, 75 back up to... This is what we mean by kind of looking at whole numbers when you're trading. Oh, we didn't quite get that 75, did we? Oh, I missed it a little bit. I wasn't a short. I didn't want to try to jump in long after I feel like the long was down there at the 200. I didn't want to jump in at 20 points too late. I already jumped in that last trade 22 points late. I'll let anybody in the chat takes that one. We'll do the next one. All right, guys, we're going to see if we can find some eval trades here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Bay, you would have been long at 200. I know Fish Lips would have been long at 200. So there's quite a few of you guys would have been long off those 90s and 200 levels. And we had the swing here also. And it's at the previous day low from 2 days ago. Almost feel like, do you feel like this little order block area is going to hold here? I mean, I kind of feel like, it's going to take quite a bit to get through that. Right there back to the previous day open. Man, that thing's been kind of a magnet this morning. Ooh, do the longs. We kind of retested the 50 on my one charts. Mm. Man, I got another short signal there, but I didn't take it. I feel like we could probably get down to the 50s here, 150s. That's that lunchtime low from yesterday, and we have the AM low all the way down at 25.50. No, we're not in a position. Bay took a long while ago, and I'm not sure if Fish Lips grabbed his long or not. Andrea, I was in the short. I got short up there. What, the 40s, somewhere around the 40s or something like that. 40s. I was short earlier. And then I DCA'd back in it. I brought my average back up to around 60. So we got our 10 points. Then we got a nice runner. I mean, this thing could easily go all the way back up to the 300s here. Retest the 9 EMA, especially if it gets through this area here. If we get through this area, we're probably going to have a really nice push back up. Right now, I'm just kind of waiting so the candles look a little bit better. I try to stay away from these big wiki candles. Good morning, Outer. You missed it, Outer. I got caught in a nasty short while ago. I had to DCA out of it. Then I'm not sure how much Fish Lips is up today. I know if he's had some good target hits on Fish Lips levels, then yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing us push down and rerun yesterday's low down at the 25,558 here. Excuse me. Oh, you're talking about for yourself. This is a short day. Okay. Mm. I'm still trying to find an entry for a short down to the 150s. Unless it just goes straight there now without me going with it. So let's see what happens with the 75. Maybe the 75 will give us some kind of little bit of a reversal pullback, and that'll offer us like a entry to get like a little 10-point trade with the runner down to the 50. Because it's probably going to the 43s, 42s. What might even hit the hundreds here. This is a eval trade. All right, here comes the kind of the moment of truth here at the whole number. We're looking for a push down to the 75s, to the 50s. This is a eval trade, guys, so we are trading a little bit different than we trade on our funded account. Oh, don't mess me with the man. Any other time that damn thing would have hit the 75. All right, so we got stopped out there. I still think we go down, guys. What it is, we're targeting the AM low down at the 43s. That was your target from yesterday. Outer. So 25 will probably be the line in the sand for the shorts here, because if we break the 25 and we break that next swing up there on these charts at the 42, more likely we're going to be start pushing back, kind of like a 50% pullback, maybe up to 262, where the 9 EMA is sitting for the 5-minute charts. No, I'm not in a position right now. I'm sorry if I missed that message a while ago. I'm still looking for shorts. I was looking for us to run those 240s down at the bottom. Here comes that next swing. We're about to run that swing at 42. That thing stopped right at it, guys. Insane. If you pop that, if you pop that 42, you should get a push up into the 60s or even up to the 75. Right below it too. Insane. Still no. Be careful if you're long and above this 40 area. There's just a lot going on above here. We got the previous day open. You got the previous day close. You got your 9 EMA, 75. I would like to see like maybe a 300 push up here, kind of get back up to retest the whole numbers at the 300s. This may be the pushback down right here, guys. This is where you need to see 25 kind of hold up. Like I said, I'm still kind of short biased back down to that 150 area. So we'd have to kind of get back through the 200s here. Is there anybody in a position right now? If we lose that 200, it's probably straight back down to the 150s. That's kind of like I said, we were looking for that 150 sell. There's a bearish order block at 252. On the bearish order blocks like that outer, does that mean it tries to sell back into it? We're on the MNQ. Right now, we're just kind of just chopping back and forth. There's just not really a lot for us to do right now. No, I was short bias. I was looking for a short, if anything, back down to the 50s. This stuff is. Oh, now it wants to push up here. Dirty bastard. I'm not in no kind of position right now, outer. We're just kind of waiting. I know even if we try to take a long, it's going to take a lot to push up through the 75s or even the 100s here. So. I think fish lips levels are hitting pretty good today. We're just being patient because we took a loss on that last trade with a couple micros. So we're just kind of just sitting here waiting. Which, you know, we talked about a little bit this morning where we talked about it could just be a lot of chop today because of the CPI numbers. What about the rest of you guys? Anybody in a position right now? Or is everybody just kind of just sitting here watching it chop back and forth, guys? There's just not really anything we can do right now until we can kind of get out of this area. So we've just been just kind of stuck. Come on. What the heck? Ah. So we're red on an eval, or pretty much lost our back to break even. But we're still green in the fundeds today from that one short from earlier. Well, no. I mean, I trade like a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours in the evenings. Um, but no, I still work and make money other ways besides trading and affiliate stuff. Ugh. Oh, this price action is insane, guys. Hopefully, no one is stuck in a trade. I was over here looking at the elusive website. I didn't know they had an economic calendar. Sorry about the being so kind of boring today, guys. There's just not really, like I said, anything for us to do here. We just kind of have to wait for the price action to just kind of get some kind of movement. To me, I mean, I was still kind of short bias. It looks like we're creating lower highs here to kind of make a little flag. And I see that order block. We also have a kind of a bearish order block sitting here on the 5 minutes, also outer. I'm still looking for shorts. Unless we can get back above maybe the 300s or something, kind of reverse, get back above the 50, or even back above this previous hourly candle. But I still think we're short. I feel like we want to run those previous day lows down at the 25.58s. Or the first target down is 25,143. And that's from these lows here. So you still have the AM low. No, this is MNQ hedge. If you have order flow, you can actually see the sell rejection from the move down. Yeah, I've heard of some people using the order flow. I don't really know much about order flow. I mean, I've heard of it. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it. Is that something that you can get on TradingView, Rob? May come back and get our runner here. You'll need to have a deep chart ninja. I don't guess I know what that is either. I don't think I've ever heard of deep chart ninja. Yeah, that's kind of new to me. Brand new 5-hour candle. Let's see if this candle stays bearish here. Okay, it's the charts with the heart. Is that kind of like what is that called? Book map? Is that similar to like book map, Rob? Here to stay bearish and see if we can finally get that down to the 43s. You want to see about the 30 to 40% of this candle hold up here. It will be the next X-ray vision of the candle charts. Nice. All right, we're just going to take our stop loss to the top of this candle. Remember, we could bounce here off the 40s, 43 areas. That's the AM lunchtime low from yesterday. So I don't know how well that's going to hold up. I wouldn't mind hitting us the previous day low down there at the 25.58. Then Q is still in consolidation range. Yeah, Outer, we're just on evals. We're not taking any more funded trades. We took 2 funded trades this morning. Didn't really make a whole bunch. One, we were kind of lucky to survive. That was the 153. That was the big short from earlier this morning. The first trade we took, we only got the 10 points, so we got stopped out on that one. So our runner didn't make anything. So that's why we're only up $40. So then now we're trading eval. What is? I'm not sure what last week lows are. Rob. The only thing I'm looking for is the previous day low. The previous day low is down at 25,058. But I know we could bounce here. If we can't, come on, get through there. If we get through the 40s, we should get a nice push here. And what do we got left on this candle? Still a whole minute left. I'm going to be weary of the 25 here. So I know off that 25, we could reject and come all the way back up to the 75. And I would rather it come back up, stop me out, say for like a 20-point win. Actually, we will. We'll at least lock in 20 points in case this thing does come back, because I don't want to sit here and this thing comes all the way back and stops me out and we're just break even. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, Outer. That was kind of what we were targeting this morning on that last short that I got stopped out on. We're going to go up again after lunch. Nice. Yeah, you can almost see this little trend line break here. So you can see how we're just kind of making lower highs, lower highs. If you like to trade trend line breaks, kind of creating this big bear flag here before we broke out. All right, pull fib on this. As long as 50% holds of this candle, we should be good. Might be able to even target deeper now. We're going to carry our stop loss to the bottom of this candle here. Could get some rejection here between that 110 and 100 here, guys. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see on that vertical screen, Ham. It's a little bit easy to see on the horizontal. We shorted the breakout a while ago, kind of when I saw that we were getting through this previous swing. We were making these higher lows, higher lows. We shorted at 193 and our target's at 0.93. And we're looking for a pot. We could look for a nice long off the 50s down here. If you go back out to my YouTube page and look for the the horizontal, it's a little bit easier to see. If you have that option. So basically we entered this trade basically on a trend line break. So basically we were just making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We created like a little bear flag here. And once it broke out of the flag, we just shoot for a target. Our first target was 43. I saw that it was continuing through 43. So then the next target's going to be that previous day low at 58 if you're still looking for shorts, or if you're still in a short, if you had another runner. I wish I had multiple runners, but I only had one. And I know it can get kind of iffy here around the whole numbers, so I always try to take my profit around the whole numbers if we can. And we're getting our levels based off on this indicator is called ICT, kill zones and pivots. So what it does, it kind of marks out the different zones throughout the trading day. So this is your New York AM session from yesterday. And the low of that is at the 53. That's your previous day low yesterday in the New York session. The low that we just ran at 143, that's your lunchtime low from yesterday. And the one that we kept bumping into would have been your lunchtime area from yesterday. See how we just kept bumping. Man, if we get through that, though, if we sell through these 53s, whoo, it can be. We got the low from, what was that, Monday, all the way down at 954. Man, another 100 points down. All right, so there's nothing that we can do now. Possible we can see if we get, we'll see what happens at this previous day low. We could get a possible reversal at this level. Nice long short. Unfortunately, it was just on an eval, so it wasn't on a funded account. Wow. Another good candle print, too. So if you pull fib on this next 5-minute candle. So this is how I determine if we're going to probably stay bearish or if we're going to be moving back up. So I'll pull fib on my 5-minute candles. And most of the time, if you break back up 50% over your previous 5-minute candle, when they're nice bearish looking candles like this, we're probably going to move back up, and you can almost probably retrace 50% of the total move. So let's see here. So we're at the 50%. This is where I usually start getting weary if this area right here cannot hold for us to continue down. So you want to see this area hold if you're trading on 5-minute candles. So this is why a lot of times you'll see me pull Fibonacci on my just big 5-minute candles. So if I feel like we're about to lose that whole candle, we'll just go and try to take as much profit as we can. So far, we've only been getting those like 20% pullbacks on these previous candles. So this one was a little deeper than the last two. So it looks like the bulls are definitely trying to come back in. Next support's 25.45. That's where I want to see us go outer. I wouldn't mind looking for a long out of that area down there. So far, 50% still holding. Uh-oh. that's what I want to see, BR. I want to try to take a long off of those 50s down there. But this is also one of these things, if you didn't catch the short, it's almost like, do you want to FOMO in and try to chase it? I know that FOMO got me yesterday. I FOMO'd into that. No, I'm not touching anything until we break that previous day low. The FOMO got me yesterday because I thought we were going to run that non-farm payroll low, and I thought I was going to miss it, so I jumped in, and that day, I swear I bought the bottom. That damn thing went back up like 50 points. It was just one of those days. We've gotten pretty lucky, I feel like, the last couple days with the DCA and back into our accounts, so we were able to DCA back into it. All right, so far, your 50% of the candle is holding. So now, hopefully, the volumes maybe drying up a little bit for the bears. We can finally get that push down here to the previous day low. Guys, if you're in my vertical lobby, I also stream horizontal. If you have the option to look at the horizontal screen, so it'll look more like that. If you don't want to look at horizontal, you can probably see the numbers a little bit better. Ooh, I like this candle. That's one of my favorites here. I like it whenever you get these big bearish or bullish candles. You get this small body with the wick. A lot of times I'll either short or long these depending on what side it breaks. But I'm not going to short to the bottom size. There's no way I'm going to short into that that low. I also have these in an indicator in my Discord for anybody that likes having these levels where it's like, and you can customize them wherever how you want it to look. Like how big or how you want the lines to look, how I got the previous day low, the previous day open, the previous day close, and how they're all marked. It looks like a golf club. Got a little bitty putter. Uh-oh. Do we break out the top? This is kind of going against the trend, guys. So, man, I just got busted hard on that one. This is an eval too. Let's see. If it gets through here, we might take our stop loss down to that previous day low and DCA back into it. But it'll have to break this bottom of this candle first. And that's at 78. Dude, my Lucis accounts are taking a beating today, guys. Yeah, that means we're probably going to be pushing down. All right, we're going to see if we can DCA back into this. All right, we're about to approach that previous day low here. On that long there, I thought we'd get back up to the 50s or 60s. All right, here's your previous day low. You think a direct drop to 13? 25 will be my line in the sand outer. Whew. That's not looking pretty. Man, my average is still way down there. I don't know if I can sit through another 25 points here, because this is a small account. Woo, going against the trend got me there, guys. I was looking for that push back up into that 9 EMA up there at the 150s. 25 will be my line in the sand. If it breaks through the 25, we'll have to close this. Oh, no, we're on evals. We're done trading fundeds today, Kevin. We did funded trade setups this morning around the opening. See. Like I said, this will have to be my line in the sand. Because I only have like $1,500 in drawdown on this account. If it gets down to the 25s, it'll blow my eval. There's the 25 hit. Like I said, if it continues pushing down, it's gonna it'll blow my 25K eval. Because we already took a loss on this account earlier too, so we'd only had about a 1,100 in drawdown left. And remember, the next low is going to be all the way down at the 24,950s. All right, I'm going to have to close this trade. It's right there at it. Close. Oh, that sucks. All right, that may be the sign for me to leave today, since we pretty much drew our account all the way down to what, a few $100 left on that one, guys. Woof. So we're going to be green, 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 red. So we could go all the way down to 24,050 if you go over here and look at Monday's low. So that would probably be the next target possible down here. 24,955. You're saying 25,913? This could just be one of these days that just don't respect the levels, guys. It's just one of these days where it just kind of gets in that momentum, just going down and down and down. Yeah, Kevin, anytime I say I'm trading an eval, that means please do not follow those on your funded accounts. Because funded accounts are too expensive to be trading aggressively. Nah, no long reversal. And I even went against my trend on that one too. What a stupid mistake. And what I mean by that, if you look at the Rico candles, because it takes a lot of the mess out of the So instead of long, I should have been short from here if I was going by what I usually go by on my evals. But I wasn't looking at my Rico charts. I was looking at this, and I thought we would maybe push back up to whenever we got that club candle and where we wicked above it. I thought we would get the push back up to that 9 EMA. So that's kind of what we were thinking when we took that long. Well, is there anybody in the short? I was hoping that we would get a nice bounce off that previous day low, but hell, we're already 60 points below it. Oh, I'm not taking any more entries today, Outer. Or at least this morning. We've already done enough damage to our account. So, like I said, we pretty much took all of our profits that we made in that eval from earlier. This was that long 100-point trade we took a while ago, and those are the two funded trades that we took earlier this morning. So it'll be green, 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 red for the day. Which is easier to live with the red and the evals compared to your funded accounts, guys. Dude, do we skinny lower? Man. How's everybody else's trading going today? Did most of you guys survive today? Well, at least not red across the whole board. Are you at least majority green? My goal every day is just to be green on fundeds, and kind of whatever happens with the evals happens with the evals. Or I'll use more like my evals as my chart time. You ever hear like, more chart time you trade, the easier it gets. So a lot of times that's what I use my cheap evals for. I was hoping Bulanox would start another 90% off soon. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Like I said, I'm not going to take any more trades. Then you started to scout. Yeah, I shouldn't have went against my bias a while ago. I forgot to look at my Rico charts whenever I took that short a while ago. Because a lot of times I use the Rico charts to kind of get my bias. And there was really no reason to short here because we never got back above that 21 EMA on the Rico candles. Oh, you were scalping super heavy, Creative? Five minis. Wow, that is heavy. I'm over here on 3 micros, man. That is insane. Woo. But I only got 25K accounts, so I got small accounts, so I can't even trade with 3 minis. I just stay away from the minis. They get me in trouble a lot quicker because it doesn't give you very much room for error. There's that 950. That's why I'm walking away, because I don't want to find myself looking for more entries. So I wasn't sure we were going to get down there, but man, we're already down there at that low here, that 955. Well, was it at least an eval that you were trading 5 minis, or was that a funded account? Dude, the next stop from what? Friday's lows all the way down at 24,700. Let's see if this 50 holds. So maybe the 50 will finally be the low here. I'm not going to do anything with it, but we're at that low area here. I figure I get myself in trouble if I continue trading. Instead of having one messed up eval, I'll have multiple if I continue trading. Yeah, like I said, I had no reason to long a while ago. I should have looked at my Rico charts, and I didn't. Because this is a lot of times, this is what we're using to enter most of our shorts. This is why most of my shorts are always like 10 point, or most of my entries are always 10-point winners. Especially whenever you just get like the 2 to 3 candle pullback. Usually that means we're staying super bearish or bullish, whatever direction we have. Then we just kind of sell off. Yeah, crazy big day for the shorts today, guys. Creative, what count are you trading 5 minis in? Like, who are you trading that with to use 5 minis? I'm assuming you're trading what, like a 50K or 100K if you're trading 5 minis? Yeah, no, that's that is the next push down. I'm thinking they're gonna maybe push it all the way down there and then pop it all the way back up for tomorrow for the CPI news. That is the Monday's low. Yep, 24,714. If we lose those 42s, that may be what you get here. This is where you want to see a reversal if your long bias is at 42 level. We're at, this is from Monday's low, and this is Friday's low. Or not the low, but the AM low is that 700 that Outer's talking about. No news today. Just we got CPI numbers in the morning. Yeah, I have to go to my daughter's, so. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching today, and we will be back later today. So hopefully most of you guys survived today. Like I said, we pretty much almost blew our eval today, guys. So that's the only thing that sucked for me today. Everything else was good besides that one eval we blew. So we pretty much lost the profits that we had in there from the other day. For the fundeds, like I said, we only made 39 for the funded, so puts us a little bit closer to the $1,000 payout. So kind of puts us up to what, 470 is what we need, and this funded account's up to 1,600. This eval still needs another 750 to pass, and like I said, we pretty much wrecked this eval here. So that's kind of where we're at today with our accounts. So hopefully everybody survived today without too much carnage. Dude, this thing doesn't look like it's reversing at all. It's just going to be one of these days where it just goes through every single level. We don't get these many days where like it doesn't respect the levels. But man, it seems like when we do, it just goes and goes and there's just nothing you can do. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll be back for the Asia session tonight. Everyone have a good day.